Hey y'all, Fat Man Outdoors. It's time to do the next step on reloading the 243 Winchester. We're going to trim cases to the length that they need to be so that we'll make sure none of them are too long so they'll fit in any SAMI chamber. But first, I got a little footnote. I was going to use an 80 grain bullet. I wanted a specific 80 grain bullet, and I cannot find one. I don't have enough to do them. I only had about 12 or 14 left, and I can't find a box of the ones that I want. But what I did find is some Hornady 100 grain boat tail soft point that will work really good. And so I went back into my manuals, my reload manuals. It's kind of iffy when you ain't got three to go by, for me personally, and I'm stuck with one on this one. The only one I could show that 100 grain boat tail soft point in IMR 4064 was my Lee manual. So I looked in my Lee manual. My Lee manual says the minimum charge is 33, and that'll be shooting 2,672 feet a second. And the maximum charge is 36.5, and that'll be shooting 2,902 feet per second. So what I want to do is same thing that we done on talking about that other charge. I want to fall right in the middle somewhere. So they're saying 33 to 36.5. I don't want to get close to the minimum because I don't like shooting minimum loads. I don't want to get close to the maximum. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go 34.5, 35, and 35.5. That's got me right in the middle. I know that this manual's telling me I should be just fine. Won't have to worry about no pressure issues, and the bullets should shoot pretty good in one of those three. So I'm going to go ahead and change on my notebook here. I'm going to mark through what I had written down, and I'm going to put down 34, or yep, 34, 34.5, and 35. And I've changed it already that I'm going to have a 100 grain bullet. The cases are mixed cases, Winchester and Hornady. And guys, I don't know how well you'll be able to see these. I want to show them to you. They come out of that tumbler looking better than new. That Tough Nut is some good. That Tough Nut Plus is some good stuff. If you're going to invest money in a dry tumbler and you want to make sure you get a media that's good, get that stuff right there. That Lyman's Turbo Tumbler Media Tough Nut Plus. It's some good stuff. It'll work. I've put some nasty cartridges in that stuff, and they come out great. Come out looking real good. And usually what I'll do if I got some that I'm going to tumble that are like super nasty, I'll wait till about 7 or 8 o'clock at night. I'll come out here, throw them in it, turn it on, walk off and leave it. Come back the next morning, take them out, and they're just as bright as I want them. And there's no excessive wear on the cases. It's walnut. Okay, it's not sand. It ain't going to wear away that brass. It'll wear away the tarnish off of it because the tarnish is softer than the walnut, but not as hard as the brass. So you don't have nothing to worry about. But anyway, so what we're going to do, we're going to look in this book here, and we are going to see what it says that our minimum case length needs to be on a 243 Winchester. So I'm going to turn back here to the very first page. Now in the Lee book it's a little bit different than some of them. Some of them show you minimum and maximum case length and an overall length for any load. Okay, but this one it'll show you you have to get the case length at the front of each category. So I had to come up here to the front of the category, and the maximum length for the case, overall case length, is 2.045. So now we'll take out our caliper, and I'm going to check a couple of these. Always make sure you got it zeroed. And again, we're looking for 2.045. Get it on there and get it squared up good. That one's 2.045. 2.041. Okay, let's check another one, just randomly here. Pull one. See what this one is. That one's actually 2.035. Let's see if that's a Hornady case. Nope, that's a Winchester. Let's pull another one randomly. 2.038. None of these may not need to be trimmed, but I'm going to set up a trimmer and check it anyway. 2.039. 2.041. 2.041. 2.041. So I'm probably not going to take anything off of any of these, but I'm going to go ahead and set up my Hornady trimmer and go ahead and run a few through it, and just to show you how the process works. But I'll get the camera moved a little bit here and get everything set up, and I'll be right back. Alright guys, I've measured some of this brass and I can't find any of it that's 2.045, so I could probably go without trimming any of this, and but I'm going to go ahead and show you how to set this case trimmer up anyway, so you'll know how to use one and how to set one up. This particular one is a Hornady, and they work pretty much under the same facets. It's just a little bit, you just have to read the paperwork. Paperwork tells you all about how to set it up, how to adjust it and all that stuff. But the main thing is, come on the back of it, you'll find a list of all these calibers. You come down to the caliber 243 and it says you need a shell holder size 1. Now there's shell holders that come with these, and this is the size shell holder. I've already changed it. It'll tell you that you also need the trimmer pilot number 3, and that's this little bitty dude right here. It goes inside the neck of your case when you're trimming it. That's what makes everything stay parallel. So what you want to do is you want to set your adjustment on your cutter that it's all the way in, okay, and then slide the neck of your case upon it. Like I said, you have to make sure this is still a little bit loose, and then when it's get slid up on there, tighten this down, and you know you're all the way up. Tighten this up just a touch. Won't take much. Don't take a whole lot to hold it. Then just turn this handle, and the cutter will do its thing. Then when you're done, pull it back, turn this little arm down, pull your case out. You can look, and it's shined it up just a tad right at the tip. But that's all there is to it. And then when you go to put the next one in, put it in there and just leave it loose. Stick your pilot up in there, tighten that up, turn your cutter till you can feel it if it's cutting, which this one isn't, but it's not touching anything. But if you can feel it when it gets done cutting, when it's not taking any more brass, pop that back, loosen this just a little, take your case out, and there you are. That's another one done. Do another one here real quick. Put it in your shell holder, okay. Slide your cutter up, make sure you line that up, tighten that up a little bit. Turn the handle. Okay, slide your cutter back, loosen that. Don't have to loosen it, but just a little bit. And it actually took just the shaving off of that case. Now let's measure this case. Make sure we got this joker zeroed. Get it centered up good here. That one come out at 2.145. Or I'm sorry, 2.045, not 2.145, as you can see there. So that's plenty. I mean, that's got us right where we need to be. And I know that it'll go in any Sammy spec chamber doing that. Like I say, it's very simple. Stick it in there. Now make sure you remember to leave this loose when you get ready to stick the pilot in there, because if you don't, then it can't line up properly with that pilot. If it's tight, see there, and it won't go in. You have to leave it loose so that the case will move around in that shell holder a little bit. Then tighten it up. You ain't got to kill it. and then just hold it. And mine, you know, a lot of people have theirs bolted to the desk or their bench, and I don't have that much bench space. I only got 8 foot that I'm trying to work in here and work around everybody too. So, but the fine tuning adjustment now is what I want to get to. Okay, now let's look at this one and see what it came out at. Okay, that one come out 2.0405. Okay, so we know that that case, when it's in this cutter, okay, now I turned it up a little bit so it take just a shave off of that. Well, then you lock this down and it'll hold enough tension there that it will it'll keep you from sliding back or your settings changing. It's got an O-ring in there that's made to put resistance against it. Yep, 2.040. That's real good. I'm hoping to find one that I turned it down just a shade so that I could hopefully find one it'll take a little off. Yeah, I don't know if you can hear that. This one actually cut a little off of that one. Yeah, see how it brightened the neck up on it real good? You see that? Now see what it cut it back to. .040. Okay, that's what we're looking for. But like I said, when you do your fine-tune adjustments, there's 2 little knurled nuts here. Okay, if you screw it in, then you'll get a longer case length. If you screw it out, you'll get a shorter case length. Okay. All right, let's try another one now. Now, when you turn this little arm, it's a lot of times if you flick that thing, it'll turn around 2 or 3 times if you got it oiled good. You don't need that. If you move it that far, the case will come out. There's a little plunger in there that holds the bottom of the case, and you don't got to move it very far at all. But leave her loose, start the pilot. Pull the cutter back. Knocked a little off of that one. Let's see what we got. 2.41. 2.041. Let's try one more. It don't take long to do this stuff, guys. You just gotta, it's the tedious part of reloading, and it makes it worth it, to be honest. In my opinion, it makes it worth it. Brighten that one up a little bit. Let's see what it says. Get her squared up good. .041. 2.0415. We're going to call that good. We're going to call that pretty good. Well, guys, I don't want to hold you no longer than I have to. I know y'all got other stuff to do. So I'm going to let you go. I'm going to go ahead and finish trimming all these. But I appreciate y'all watching. I hope you got something out of this. If you got any questions or comments, put them down below in the comments. I'll be sure to try to read them and answer them, and give you the best information I can on this stuff. I've got quite a bit of it, and I use about all of it. So if you got questions about how something works or how something does when used, if you're thinking about buying one, just let me know, and I'll tell you what I know. So that maybe that'll help you make a good purchase or not, or keep you from making a bad one. But I appreciate y'all watching, and we'll see you in the next one. This is the Fat Man. I'm gone. Hey guys, if you liked the video, hit subscribe. Don't forget to click that bell so you get notifications the next time we put out a video. Appreciate you. It's the Fat Man. I'm gone.